Hi everyone, and welcome once again to Southside Dodge Rebels this week. We have highlights from a pair of home games to show you. We learn a little bit more about the Rebels' new associate coach, Jeff Truitt. We chat with Adam Kambites after his return to Red Deer, and we go around the Western Hockey League. Let's kick off this week's episode by flashing back to this past Friday night here at the NMAC Centrium. The Rebels playing host to the Medicine Hat Tigers. Matthew Dumba laces him up for another battle. Patrick Bartasak making his first start since being named CHL Goalie of the Week. Brooks Maxwell leads the rush and drops it off for Turner Elson. He sets up Matthew Dumba, who just misses with the one-timer. Then Elson fires a shot through traffic that gets tipped wide. Rebels would open the scoring a few minutes later. Brandon Underwood pinches to get the puck. His shot is anything but a howitzer, more of a knuckle puck than anything, but it gets by Tigers goalie Cam Lanigan. That's Underwood's second of the year. The big Californian makes it 1-0. Rebels go up 2-0 less than 2 minutes later when Corey Miette makes a slick pass over to Connor Bleakley. The former first-round pick buries his 6th of the season, his 4th in 5 games. Great first period for Red Deer. The Tigers would get on the board early in the second. Hunter Shinkarik flies toward the net. He gets the puck over to Curtis Volk, who tips it past Bartasak for his team-leading 17th of the year. Rebels lead cut to 2-1. Shinkarik made his return after missing a couple of weeks due to injury, and he was flying. Reese Dino shoots from point-blank range, but is denied. Joel Hamilton robbed by Lanigan on the rebound. Dino down the right wing boards this time, finds Corey Miette all alone in the slot. He makes no mistake, scoring his 7th of the year. Pretty good Movember effort by Miette too. The Rebels restore their 2-goal lead. It's 3-1. Bartasak showing off some of the great work that earned him Goalie of the Week honors with a pair of nice saves. But the Tigers would claw back in this one. Shinkarik sends the puck to the point for Dylan Busanius. He shoots through traffic and beats Bartasak for his 3rd of the year. Medhat back within a goal at 3-2. And they would tie things up before the end of the second. Bartasak stops the long shot from Spencer Jensen, but Volk gets enough of the rebound for his 2nd of the game, 18th of the year, 3-3 through 40 minutes. The Rebels waste little time restoring their 2-goal lead in the 3rd. Dino and Maxwell dig the puck out for a wide-open Turner Elson. The captain fires home his 8th of the year just 35 seconds into the frame. It's 4-3. Just 34 seconds later, Wyatt Johnson crosses the blue line and beats Lanigan with the high wrister. Johnson's 4th of the year would spell the end of the night for Lanigan. 5-3 Rebels. Things were looking good at that point. However, the Tigers responded yet again. Boston Layers wraparound attempt ends up on the stick of Trevor Cox. He beats Bartasak for his 10th of the year. Rebels lead cut to 5-4. With just over 3 minutes left, Brooks Maxwell would go top shelf on Merrick Langhammer. An absolute beauty for his 2nd of the season and a 6-4 Rebels lead. This thing was finally over, right? Well, not quite. Final minute of play. Puck in the Rebels' end. It goes over to Elgin Pierce, who nets his 10th. 6-5 Rebels with 30 seconds remaining. But that's as close as the Tigers would get. Dumba kills off the final seconds. The Rebels hang on for a wild 6-5 victory.
It was one more than our opposition, so that's a good thing. You know, again, it was a game where there was flow went both ways. You know, I thought in the 3rd period we got those 2 quick goals and we got a break certainly on one of them. But you know, there's areas that we need to continue to improve on and get better at, and that's things that we work on daily. But as you do it, you need to also have confidence and believe in yourself and your teammates and your team, and go out there and win games.
I was pretty excited to see the buzzer go there. I kind of coughed one up at the end for them to make it 6-5, so head was kind of down, but I'm glad the boys finished strong.
Game data brought to you by 247reddeer.ca. Reese Dino, the offensive star in this one, with 3 assists. So after that thrilling Wild West shootout, the Rebels were on home ice one night later, a Saturday night special versus Adam Kambites and the Saskatoon Blades. 2 teams on impressive streaks were set to battle in this one. The Rebels, of course, seeking their 7th straight win. The Blades came in winning 5 of their last 7. Saskatoon gets the first good scoring chance as Matej Stransky fires, but is turned aside by Bartasak. But it's the Rebels who open the scoring as Cale Detzel shoots from the point. It's tipped on its way through by Connor Bleakley, who continues his hot scoring streak. 1-0 Rebels just over 4 minutes in. And here come the Toques. Thousands of Toques hitting the ice in support of the Red Deer Christmas Bureau. Always a fun event for a great cause. Volunteers and Rebels players busy cleaning off the ice. A job well done by everyone. Ristino comes across the blue line. He winds and fires and is stopped by Andrei Makarov. Turner Elson finds the rebound but shoots wide. Long outlet pass for Josh Nichols catches Brady Godet out of position. Nichols in all alone. Save by Bartosak. Stransky with the puck behind the Rebels net, out to Lucas Sutter, but Bartosak snags that shot too. Makarov was just as good at the other end, stopping the first shot from Godet and the rebound in tight from Bleakley. But the Rebels would get one more before the end of the first. Tyson Ness takes the pass from Matt Bellerive, and check out the pretty spinorama. Goes backhand past Makarov for his 8th of the year. Rebels led 2-0 through 20 minutes. Ness comes looking for more in the second, but Makarov squeezes down to make the save. Stransky gets a great chance to get the Blades on the board. He takes the feed and beats Bartosak, but catches the post. Another breakaway chance for Josh Nichols. Another fantastic save by Bartosak. The Czech netminder does it yet again. He certainly had Nichols' number on this night as he gets across for yet another save. But you have to give Nichols credit. He kept coming. This time he does get it by Bartosak, but hits the post. First minute of the third period, Matt Dumba's point shot goes wide, but Elson gets to the rebound and slides home his 9th of the season. It's the second time in as many nights he's scored in the first minute of the third. This time he gives the Rebels a 3-0 lead. Then it's Patrick bar the door as Bartosak makes another stop on Brendan Walker. Stransky parks himself crease side and could have had a goal, but tipped the shot wide. Nick Zajac tries to enter the Rebels zone, but is stood up by Dumba at the blue line. Nelson Nogier shoots from the point, tipped by Nichols. Rebound comes to Shane McColgan, but Bartosak hangs on. That would be it for scoring chances in this one. The Rebels win their 7th in a row, 3-0 over the Blades, who weren't about to go home quietly.
Everybody's in the corner. Underwood gets on top of Sutter. Miette and Zajac are tied up. Lernout was trying to get into it. McCoy and Siemens have got the gloves off. Stockel's in there. Oh, we got him back and forth. Lernout throwing a few.
It was a team effort and everybody was going. Every line was getting rolled, and our 4th line really did well tonight, and Patty was strong like usual, and we just got a lot of pucks in it. It was just a good overall effort.
Well, I thought right from the start to the finish, we played well here tonight. You know, it's we played a up-tempo game. We played with pace in our game, and you know, we want to be a team that plays on our toes, and you know, we were certainly better defensively here tonight too. So you know, we played well on both sides of the puck.
It feels like every time you come down here, we're gonna win that game, and we all have that confidence, and we got that swagger now, and that's a good thing to see because we didn't have it early in the year. Now we have it.
It's funny coming and playing against the Rebels. It's you get a different perspective, and they're a hard-working team, and they came at us hard all night, and they didn't give up, and they worked hard for it. And it's weird looking across the ice to the opponent when it's guys that you had played with for 4 years. And it was strange, but you know, I had fun out there, and it was a hard-fought game.
And we will hear more from Adam Kambeitz in just a couple minutes' time. Patrick Bartosak making 21 saves for his 2nd shutout of the year. Bleakley, Ness, and Elson with the goals. When it comes to the team scoring race, the captain, Turner Elson, starting to pull away a little bit, but look at Joel Hamilton right in the mix, even though he has just 1 goal on the season. Rebels continued to solidify their spot in the top 4 when it comes to the Eastern Conference standings. Here's what's on tap this week for the boys. Wednesday night, they kick off a 3-game road trip at Regina. Friday, they're at Moose Jaw. Saturday, they head to Brandon. Coming up after the break, we go one-on-one with Adam Kambeitz. We learn more about Jeff Truitt, and we introduce you to 2 more brand new Red Deer Rebels.
Southside Dodge Chrysler Jeep and RV Center is proud to serve Central Alberta. 100% satisfaction, friendly salespeople, and excellent customer service. Southside Dodge, home of the $10,000 giveaway.
Hi everyone, Jack here at 360 Fitness Personal Training. If you're looking to lose weight, burn fat, and just feel great in your clothes again, 360 Fitness can get you there. Work one-on-one with our trainers to get you in the best shape of your life. Get results or your money back.
Complete Athlete in Sylvan Lake is Central Alberta's #1 hockey training facility, boasting one of the world's largest skating treadmills and stick handling platforms. Learn, train, perform. Complete Athlete in Sylvan Lake.
I just want to wish all the fans a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I'd like to wish my friends, fans, and family Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
On behalf of all the Rebel players and myself, I'd like to wish all the Rebels fans and people of Red Deer happy holidays and a Happy New Year.
Welcome back to the show. Well, obviously very exciting to have Adam Cambites back on the show for the first time in too long. Boy, we sure had a lot of fun having you on the last year. Do you miss us as much as we miss you?
Yeah, I know. Miss being on the show. It was a fun thing for to be on there and that. So yeah, it's been different.
Here in Red Deer at the start of December, how long have you had this circled on your calendar after the trade went down?
I think pretty much right after I got traded and was kind of looking at our schedule, I noticed the first game back in Red Deer and had it kind of marked on the calendar. It was going to be a special day, so it's finally here now.
Well, it's been a couple of months now, but take us back to that day when you found out that the Rebels were sending you to Saskatoon, and what went through your mind?
I think just it was initially just kind of shock. I mean, when you're with a team for, like I was with here in Red Deer for so long, you don't really expect to be traded, so I think just shocked and a lot of emotions. I mean, sad leaving a lot of people that I've been with for a lot of years, and obviously loving the fans and the support from here in Red Deer, and then I slowly, kind of turns into excitement, kind of realizing the opportunity that I'm going to have with the Memorial Cup and playing on a great team this year, and so yeah, just kind of the sadness and shock to excitement.
And I guess that is the other half of it, because you got traded to a team that is the host for the Memorial Cup, and they obviously saw enough in you that they wanted you to be a part of that.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you kind of sit back and take a look at that. It's kind of neat to kind of realize that they saw something in me that they wanted to bring me here. So obviously, I think you have to take that as a compliment, and excited to be here because they want you here.
So how has the transition been now? I mean, obviously you've played for a couple of months in Saskatoon. Have you fit right in there? How's it been?
Yeah, it's been good, I think. I think it took a little while to kind of find my stride there, but once I got settled in and finally was able to get back to Red Deer to get all my belongings and that, I really felt like I kind of settled in and kind of going along good now here.
What's it like working for a veteran coach like Lauren Mulliken?
Oh, it's good. I mean, he's been around the game for so long and coached so many different teams, so he's got he's a great coach, and he knows a lot about the game, and there's just a great coaching staff here, and they do a really good job. So
a lot of changes around this Red Deer Rebels team since even you left. But boy, the coaches, players, forwards, I mean, there's a lot of turnover since you left.
Yeah, it's been, I kind of watching, obviously I've been following the team and just seeing the changes and that, and it's been, it'll be weird. I mean, there'll be less guys than I expected to know on the ice when I go out there. There'll be a lot of guys that I've never played against, and I was on the team for 4 years. So it's definitely weird. And I mean, obviously Brent has a vision of where he wants his team to go, and he's putting that into action. So.
Now, I only ask this because he's standing about 20 feet over there, but Turner Elson took over your captaincy after you left the team. Are you okay with that?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, me and Turner were great friends, and it's pretty awesome to see him get that opportunity. And I think he's a great captain, and he's a great leader, and he plays with his heart on his sleeve. And I don't think they couldn't have made a better choice. So I'm definitely happy for him.
What's it like having cameras follow this team around full time as part of the Sportsnet series?
It's different. At first, it was kind of weird. At first, you really notice. There's a camera in your face all the time or following guys, but after a while you kind of just get used to it, and Mark there with the camera, he's kind of just one of the boys now, just hanging out and filming us along, so it's pretty cool.
Talk about some of the guys on this team that you've gelled really well with. I know you knew Pufal and maybe a couple of other guys coming in, but how's the team atmosphere?
It's good. It's a pretty tight team here, and I mean, it's definitely different than this Rebels team. It's an older team. There's a lot of 19-year-olds, and I mean, I've kind of bonded with Brendan Walker and Josh Nichols, the other 20-year-olds, I think, as you usually do when you're a 20-year-old. And it's a good team. There's so many different guys around my age too, which is nice. And it's a good team atmosphere, and the young guys fit in well too, so it's good.
Bit of a tough start to the season for this team, but now you're starting to pick up some wins of late. Think things are coming around the way you'd like them to?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've really started to adjust our play. I mean, before when I got there, we lost a few games, and we kind of had the week off and addressed a bunch of things. And since then, our record has been well above 500, and we've been playing a lot better hockey. So I think we just need to keep continuing and keep building, and I think we'll just slowly keep improving our record and get into a good playoff spot.
You touched on the reaction from the fans and the local community after the trade went down earlier this season. Is there anything you'd like to say to them while you have a chance?
Well, no, I guess thanks for all the support. And when I was traded, the Twitter support that I had was just it was pretty cool. You don't really realize how much support you have, I think, until something like this happens. And just to see all the people wishing me luck and thanking me for my time in Red Deer is special. And I think just thank the fans for supporting me with my time in Red Deer, and thank you for my time in Red Deer. And it was awesome. So excited to be back.
Well, Adam, thanks for this and all the best.
Thank you.
So as you heard Camby say, he's definitely excited to be a Saskatoon Blade, and his head coach and general manager also happy to have him around.
He's been outstanding. He is a player we've always had a tremendous amount of respect for because of the way he plays the game. And we had a plan going into this year where we targeted a number of players because of Memorial Cup, and he's certainly added grit, determination, and character to our locker room. And he's done a tremendous job. He's fulfilled any role that we've asked him to fulfill, and he's a real good young man to be around.
Well, for whatever reason, he seems to go unnoticed league-wide for his solid goaltending efforts, but not this past week, as finally Patrick Bartusak was named as the Canadian Hockey League Goaltender of the Week. And that was for the week ending November 25th, after Barty posted a 3-0 record with a shutout victory, along with an impressive goals against average of 0.63 and a sparkling .982 save percentage. Bartusak made 108 saves during that time, and he turned aside 43 shots in a 4-0 victory over the Medicine Hat Tigers. All of this success parlaying into an invite to the Czech World Junior Camp.
I'm leaving right after a road trip, so camp starts on 15, so I'll be battling for a starting role there. I'm pretty excited for that. It was since I was in U16, my goal was get into U20 and World Juniors and play as a starting goaltender. So yeah, I'll definitely battle hard for that.
Well, to the surprise of no one on Monday, Matthew Dumba was named to the selection camp roster for Hockey Canada's entry into the World Junior Hockey Championships.
I feel good. It's always an honor and a privilege to be named to anything to do with Hockey Canada, and I'm excited about this go around, and I'm looking to make it a special one. Still got a lot of hard work to do. I have to definitely earn a spot on this team, and that is going to be a challenge. There's so many guys who are elite players there, and from defensemen to forwards to goalies, there's top end talent. So it's gonna be hard. You're gonna have to battle and compete, but I'm prepared for that.
Well, another week and even more player moves made by GM Brent Sutter. This time, the team acquired forward Philip Vasco from the Kelowna Rockets in exchange for a conditional 6th-round pick in next year's Bantam draft. The soon-to-be 19-year-old Slovakian-born forward has 22 points in 70 career WHL games.
It's a situation where we're down to 12 forwards, and it's a tough league, and you're going to run into different situations throughout the year that you need some depth, and he gives us some depth.
Sutter also adding some depth between the pipes with the acquisition of Spencer Tremblay. The Winnipeg native has previous dub experience with Moose Jaw, and with Patrick Bartusak slated to leave on December 10th for Czech World Junior Camp, Sutter felt it was necessary to bring in competition and some depth for his netminding.
Now it gives us two 18-year-old goalies with when Patty leaves to battle out and compete and see who can play well and get ice time while he's gone, and then who can battle out and compete to see who's going to be the backup goaltender when he comes back.
And as is usually the case when it comes to Brent Sutter and player personnel moves, it's all about creating internal competition on his hockey club.
And it's competition too, and that's what I'm trying to create here. Is that you have to earn ice time to play here. You have to compete for an opportunity to play regular and get ice time, and the only way that's accomplished is allowing your team to have depth. And if your team has depth, everyone recognizes that, and it's my responsibility as general manager to make sure I provide that here so these guys can push each other to get better.
Well, when Jesse Wallen was let go as head coach of the Red Deer Rebels Hockey Club a couple of weeks ago, Jeff Truitt was brought in as the new associate coach. With more on him, here's Jared Waldo.
When Brent Sutter made the decision to relieve Jesse Wallen and take over the head coaching reins, he knew he would need some additional help. Bryce Toma was kept on as an assistant coach, but a more experienced bench boss was brought on board as well. Jeff Truitt was named the associate coach at the time of Wallen's dismissal and joined the Red Deer Rebels with an impressive resume. Truitt has 2 Ed Chenoweth Cups under his belt as he led the Kelowna Rockets to the WHL Championship twice in 2003 and 2005. After stints in the American Hockey League as both a coach and in a player personnel position, Truitt returns to the Western League and says he's happy to be back working with young players once again.
In some respects, they're more attentive and they pay attention to detail because their learning curve is still there. So, you know, it's a great transition to come back to the Western Hockey League again. It's a league that I really have enjoyed being in the past, and you know, look to help here in improving the guys.
Although he's only been with the club a short period of time, Truitt has had time to evaluate the group and likes what he sees, saying there's a ton of potential.
The group is extremely good when it comes to you know, paying attention and getting into the details of the game, and also accepting you know, a few more new ideas and new things that we talk about. You know, I like their stick-to-itiveness, and you know, we've seen in a couple of recent games here when it's 2-1 and you know, we get into, or 1-1 when we get into a shootout, that we're finding those ways to win in those tight games. So, you know, it's a game that we're going to have to continue to play and grind out games and whatnot. But as long as we're doing the right things and they've been very receptive to it, then I think the potential is right there where we need it to be.
It's hard to imagine that Truitt came to Red Deer to sit in just a secondary role for an extended period of time, and it could be just a matter of time before Sutter steps aside and names Truitt his new head coach. But that's not something the current associate coach is thinking right about now.
To me right now, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm brought in here to do a role with Brent, and if that's going to help the organization, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I don't take a look at it long term right now. It's more or less day to day, and whichever way that I can contribute, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Regardless of his position, Truitt has enjoyed his short stint in Red Deer to this point and says he and Sutter have worked well together so far.
Obviously, Brent's a wealth of experience, and you know, it's great to share the ideas and see his point of views and whatnot. And we share an awful lot of the viewpoints, and it's kind of comforting to know that we're on the same page that way. And I think it's been tremendous so far, and I look forward to it in the future.
As to what the future is, we'll wait to see. For Rebels This Week, I'm Jared Waldo.
Time now for another installment of Train Like a Rebel. Here's Jack from 360 Fitness.
Hi everyone, Jack here at 360 Fitness, and this week we're chatting about plyometrics. So plain and simple, what a plyometric is jumping with force. So it's great for explosiveness in the lower body, quickens your response time, and just adds overall speed. So a great one to do is a box jump. So it's just jumping with force, as much power as you can generate from your lower body up onto the box. As you progress, the box gets higher and higher and higher. So what a plyometric really does is it makes your legs work harder for short periods of time.
Coming up after the break, we go in the corners with Wally and we check in around the Western Hockey League. Hey Red Deer Rebels fans, have we got the show for you? Southside Dodge Rebels This Week is your #1 source for everything Rebels. Highlights, interviews, stats, and exclusive behind-the-scenes features brought to you each and every week by those who have their eye on the Rebels all season long. Southside Dodge Rebels This Week, weeknights on Shaw TV.
I'd just like to wish all our fans a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I would like to wish a very Merry Christmas to all my family and friends.
We would like to wish our friends, family, fans a Merry Christmas
and a Happy New Year.
Welcome back to the show. It's time once again to go in the corners, and for that, we go to Wally.
Whatever's in the moo juice that Brent Sutter is bringing back for his boys, he should keep bringing it. Jugs, pallets, the more the merrier, because right now it's working for the Red Deer Rebels. 7 wins in a row following victories over Medicine Hat and Saskatoon this weekend. This is a very confident group, much different from what we saw earlier this season. It's confident, they got a bit of swagger right now, and they're having fun. It's not just the players, it's not just the fans, it's the head coach as well. Take a look.
How much fun are you having right now, Brent?
You know what? It's a day-to-day thing with me. You know, it's tomorrow's a new day again, and that's the way you have to look at it. When you're coaching, you can't get too caught up into it. You gotta keep things even keel. You know, it's the saying, you're never as good as you think you are. You're never as bad as you think you are, and you gotta, as a coach, it's no different than the players. We all want to be having fun, enjoying it, and give. And the biggest thing is those young men in there. They got to feel good about themselves as people. And if they do that, they'll play the game the way they should play it too. Because you want them to come to the rink every day and enjoy the game, and that's the most important thing.
Now, it's just a matter of time. The team can't win forever, but right now things are going very, very well. The goaltending is working out well. Patrick Bartasek could be the best goaltender in the Canadian Hockey League right now. The defense is strong. Defensively, this team is very good in their own zone, strong on pucks, strong on sticks, and offensively, for the first time this season, this team is not having a huge problem scoring goals. Connor Bleakley, we've talked about it before, probably the best Rebel outside of Turner Elson, the captain, leading by example. He's been on fire. This team is hot, and we can thank the Moo Juice for that. Check out more from me on my blog at rebelrebellion.com.
Only in dealing with a guy like Brent Sutter would you come up with a term like Moo Juice. Never a dull moment. Time now to check in with news and notes from around the Western Hockey League. Shockwaves were sent this past week when the league imposed massive sanctions on the Portland Winterhawks as a result of what the league calls a series of player benefit violations over the past 4 seasons. Commissioner Ron Robison handed down the following penalties. Portland is suspended from the first 5 rounds of the 2013 WHL Bantam Draft. The Winterhawks forfeit their first-round selections in the 2014, 15, 16, and 17 Bantam Drafts. The franchise was also fined $200,000, and general manager and head coach Mike Johnston was suspended for the balance of the 2012-2013 season, including the playoffs. After the Winterhawks offered their reply to the sanctions, the Western Hockey League issued a follow-up statement. The independent investigation identified 54 violations involving 14 players which occurred over the past 5 seasons. The violations all relate to players being provided with benefits not permitted under WHL regulations. The violations include additional parent travel, off-season training, and other benefits. These additional benefits were not disclosed to the league and were strictly prohibited under league regulations. Commissioner Robison then went on to say, "We believe the sanctions are not excessive given the repeated and systematic nature of the violations. It is the responsibility of each WHL club and general manager to be fully aware of the WHL regulations and to be in compliance at all times." Well, that about does it for this week's show. Check us out on Twitter at Rebels This Week and on our website, rebelsthisweek.com. We'll see you next time.
Makarov out to play it. Gets it on the boards. Knocked down by Bleakley. On the right wing side. He'll give it to Miette. He'll drop it off right point. Detzel. His shot. Score!